Welcome to Dark Truth Official. Before you do anything else, I want you to pause and truly listen. What you're about to hear is not for a quick entertainment. It's designed to challenge you and reshape how you see people, power, and your own reactions. We're stepping into a reality most avoid. The idea that strength isn't loud or aggressive, but revealed through restraint, silence, and precise control. This understanding isn't new. It has shaped leaders and thinkers for centuries, like Niccolò Machiavelli, often misunderstood, yet a master of power. Machiavelli understood that the most effective way to defeat someone is to never fight them at all. Open conflict makes situations predictable. When you refuse to engage on that level, you operate in a space where your actions aren't easily anticipated. Unpredictability gives you an advantage force never could. Most people are conditioned to react immediately, to defend themselves. This creates a pattern easy to trigger and control. Think how often situations escalate because someone couldn't resist the urge to react, to prove something. They give away control over themselves. Machiavelli understood that control over others begins with control over yourself. If your emotions are triggered, your actions can be guided by someone else. Once that happens, you're no longer in control of the outcome. You're participating in a process someone else has influenced. This is why silence is a powerful tool. It's active, creating space where people reveal themselves. When someone expects a reaction and receives none, their mind searches for meaning. They question their approach, filling the silence with assumptions. Uncertainty is uncomfortable. When you become a source of that uncertainty, you shift the balance of control without saying a word. People want clarity, to know where they stand. When you remain calm, composed, and unreadable, you remove that stability. This doesn't mean withdrawing from everything. It means choosing carefully when to engage and when to remain still. Engagement itself is an investment. Every time you react, argue, or try to prove something, you invest your time and energy. If that investment doesn't bring value, it weakens you. Most people invest their energy poorly in arguments that don't matter. The Machiavellian approach is selective, deliberate, and patient. The most powerful move is often not made immediately, but at the right moment. This requires discipline. Patience goes against the impulse to act quickly. That impulse creates vulnerability. When you slow down, observe instead of reacting, you see things others miss. Patterns, motivations, weaknesses, and opportunities. Never interrupt someone when they are making a mistake. Mistakes, when left alone, often grow, revealing patterns and intentions. If you step in too early, you stop that process. When you observe without interfering, the situation often resolves itself in your favor. This isn't manipulation, but understanding how people behave when left to their own patterns, making better decisions about when to act. Another critical aspect is emotional discipline. Remaining unaffected when others expect you to react. Reactions are predictable, and predictability is weakness. When people know how to provoke you, they gain influence. When your reactions are controlled, you become difficult to influence. People adjust their behavior based on what they believe they can get away with. When they sense you're unaffected, they become more cautious and respectful. This creates a shift in how you are perceived, not through force, but through consistency and control. This perception becomes your advantage. People begin to approach you differently, thinking more carefully before challenging you. This is the quiet power most people overlook. It doesn't look dramatic or create immediate excitement, but it builds something far more valuable, stable, lasting, and not easily taken away. As you develop this mindset, you become less reactive, less influenced by provocations, and more focused on long-term positioning. You understand that not every situation requires your involvement. Not every comment deserves your attention. Sometimes, the strongest move is to remain still. This doesn't mean passive, but selective. You choose where to invest your energy based on strategy, not impulse. When you do act, your actions carry more weight, clarity, and impact, because they are driven by intention, not emotion. This separates those who react to life from those who shape it. Those constantly responding versus those who quietly influence outcomes. You begin to recognize patterns in behavior, communication, and conflict. This awareness allows you to navigate situations more effectively. The real battle is rarely external. It is internal, the battle between impulse and control, reaction and awareness. When you win that internal battle, external conflicts lose much of their power. You operate with clarity, patience, and purpose. This is the essence of the silent strategy, the invisible advantage. Moving through challenges without unnecessary conflict. It's not about avoiding situations, but understanding them deeply enough that you don't need to engage in ways that weaken you. This approach may not satisfy the desire for immediate recognition, but it builds effectiveness rooted in control, awareness, and deliberate action. The more you apply this thinking, the more you see the world isn't chaotic. Much is driven by predictable patterns of behavior. People often defeat themselves through their own actions and inability to control emotions. You don't need to defeat them directly. You simply need to avoid being pulled into the same patterns. This is where true independence begins, not in controlling others, but in no longer being controlled by them. When your actions aren't dictated by external triggers, you gain a level of freedom most people never experience. This requires awareness, practice, and a willingness to step away from habits. The shift is undeniable, and results become visible. You become calmer, more focused, and effective. Situations that once seemed overwhelming begin to feel manageable. The greatest form of power is not domination, but self-control. Not forcing outcomes, but positioning yourself for favorable outcomes. When you control yourself, no one else can control you. You become untouchable in a way no amount of force could achieve. This is the quiet game, the invisible strategy, shaping outcomes beneath the surface. That is where true power lives. Make sure you subscribe so you do not miss what is coming next, because we are only just getting started.